Welcome to Albert's Garage. Today we're going to be changing a thermostat on a 2009 Dodge Ram 1500 with a 4.7 flex fuel engine. And the reason why I'm doing this job is because I've been getting this code, especially in the mornings when I'm driving to work. Engine temperature is taking a little bit longer than usual to warm up. So the code is 2181 cooling system performance, and the car is not overheating. It drives fine. It kind of happens randomly, and I see it's happening more during the cold temperatures. So my guess is that there's some problem with their thermostat. Before you begin this job, make sure you locate this hose up here at the top, and there's going to be a little bolt here, and make sure you can crack this bolt open because this thing gets really stuck. So before you begin the job, make sure you can open this up. Once we change the thermostat and we put the coolant back in, this is what we're going to use to get the air out of the system. So we need to make sure we can actually mess with this. You're going to need to remove all the covers from underneath, which is not all that difficult, but your thermostat is located right there. You're going to need to drain the coolant. So I like to pop this bad boy open, and then my engine's cold, so open this up, just kind of leave it like that. The nipple to drain the coolant is located right here, and we have our 3/8 ratchet and a 18mm socket. And so typically, if you have a small hose that you can attach to this nipple, you can hook it up here and set it down, because what you'll see right now is when we undo this, it's going to start leaking all over this area here and causing a big mess. So I recommend opening up just a little bit. See, that's too much. You gotta close that. Probably like that, and just leave it like that. This will create the minimal amount of splashes. Once the coolant has slowed down, you can go ahead and close this guy right here. Once again, just close it lightly, don't over tighten it. So we have moved over our equipment to the side under the thermostat housing, and then we're gonna take a 1/4 inch. You can have an extension, and then an 8mm socket, and there will be 2 bolts, one right here and one above it. In this area right here, the one above it is a little bit harder to access. If you lay on the side where the coolant was draining and you're looking at the thermostat housing, so you're pretty much laying on the driver's side facing the passenger side, then you can actually see the top bolt a lot better. You can see the top bolt a lot better, and there you go. Put it in from the first try. So we're gonna crack this one open real quick. Oh, there we go. So that one be loosened ever so slightly, and then we will also loosen the bottom one too. However, here's the thing. What's gonna happen is there's gonna be a big old mess. So I'm gonna move the camera out of the way and show you. So you pretty much wiggle this a little bit, just a little bit. Maybe open it up more, wiggle it some more. Okay, we have some water coming, and I think maybe just a little bit more. We're gonna see where the water goes to. So yeah, we have this situation here like that. So same exact deal. I don't want to make too big of a mess, so I'm just gonna leave it like so, and then come back once the water has stopped or has slowed down. Once the coolant is drained, then go ahead and remove the 2 bolts. Let's see. Might be some more extras that come out. And you can kind of bring it out here like that. Okay, so there we go. What I like to do at this point is check the inside of this. Looks fine, it's not destroyed. Nothing looks cracked. Everything looks fine. Alright, so we'll leave that. Then we can go over here and check this area out. It looks fine too. Stick your finger in there. Make sure there's nothing clogged in there. Here's the old thermostat. Looks in pretty good shape. Like the rubber in here looks like it's all nice and intact, and it looks like it's sealed. Especially on this side, you can see that there's a nice seal. However, this piece right here is missing. Looks like someone took this out, and I know that there's guys that take this out to minimize the chance of their car overheating. However, if you get a check engine light because your car takes longer to heat up in the morning, then you can't pass smog. So I guess I'll just replace this piece with a new one. You got to make sure this surface right here is nice and clean. Mine is relatively clean, so I'll just give it a slight little scrape. Very minimal. Very minimal kind of a scrape here going around. Just something very simple like that, just to even out the edges. I'll spray this with some brake cleaner right here. Spray a little bit with the brake cleaner. Wipe it down. So we got the weep hole directly centered where it needs to go. It's pretty much lined up like that. Now we're just gonna get a little dab of thread locker, a medium hole thread locker, the blue one. So at the top bolt, you can actually use a extension to kind of reach the bolt from the side, and it's very easy to get it tightened by hand. After you do that, you can snuggle them up. They don't need to be tightened too hard. Since we got the thread locker, we're just going to check at the end for any leaks. The next step would be to add the coolant until you can't add any more coolant, and then start the truck. Okay, so the coolant has stopped draining and we almost filled up all of it. Some extra right here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to start the vehicle. Drink more coolant, which is what we want. We want to open this up right here. You can get some bubbles going, just like that. That's what you want. You want to see that. I'm probably going to take this, put it under the vehicle. Got some nice bubbles coming up. The coolant is still draining. So this is what we're going to do. Once we do that, and once all the coolant, most of the coolant's in there, we're going to close off the system and see if it can get up to optimal temperature. Once you finish filling up as much water as you could, then close the radiator cap and then start your engine and monitor the temperature. I've been driving the vehicle for about a week now, and this instant we've been driving for more than 35 minutes, and we do have a steady temperature of 208 and 210 on the highway.